Hello, I'm here on behalf of the Kentucky Tree Farm System. My name is Doug McLaren and I am chairman of that particular organization. And I'm very happy to be here to talk to you today all about tree farm. The Kentucky Tree Farm System is it's an affiliation of a national program, the National American Tree Farm System. Every state is a member, and in every state there are tree farms. Here in the state of Kentucky, there's approximately 650 tree farms. These are landowners that have shown over a period of time that they've had an interest and the willingness to go into their woodlands and manage it intensely. Now they can manage it for a variety of things. Timber is the most prominent one that people think of when they think about the tree farm system, but they can also talk about water management, they can also talk about wildlife, and believe it or not, they can even look at the aspects of recreation on their properties. They can do all four, or they can balance out those four in any way, shape, or form that they would like to do. But again, there are a number of us here in the state of Kentucky. Again, you have to be a seasoned manager, and that is someone that has worked in their woodlands and have done extensive management. A professional forester has acknowledged this work that they have been doing and asked them if they want to become a member of the American Tree Farm System, which is, again, the Kentucky Tree Farm System also. There's no cost to belong. The only thing is they have to have shown an interest and a desire to manage their properties. The program started back in the 1940s. It actually started on the West Coast and has come all the way to the East. Kentucky became part of the program in the early 50s and has grown ever since. The American Tree Farm System, as well as the Kentucky Tree Farm System, it's an organization where we are reaching out and trying to find those interested and very industrious landowners that have been involved in forestry. And they have shown this skill over and over and have been asked to join by a professional forester to become part of this organization. The good thing that comes out of this is these tree farmers are always being alerted as to potential opportunities that they have available to them through different types of programming that may be out there, as well as financial opportunities that they can utilize to help improve their properties. A lot of you may know of tree farming simply by the sign that you see along these highways. And as you drive up and down Kentucky highways and you see these green diamond-shaped signs, you recognize the fact that anyone that has that on their property has shown a sincere interest in being involved in forest management. Being involved in the tree farm system, throughout the state of Kentucky, it's a very diversified state as far as the species that we grow. We have some 50 different commercially important trees here in the state of Kentucky, and they are spread throughout the state. We have very few, if any, pine plantations. So we have basically hardwoods here in the state of Kentucky. You do not have to buy a piece of property and plant that piece of property and start from zero and go forward. Any piece of property, the minimum size for the tree farm system is 10 acres and it can go up into the thousands. If you own anything in between there and there are trees growing on it, you can simply ask for a cooperator to come out, look at your property, and get a management plan, and then just start working with that area no matter what its age is or what its condition is. You can start from zero if you would like and plant trees, but most tree farmers are those people that have inherited or purchased a piece of property with trees already growing on it, and they simply have taken on the responsibility of initiating a management plan and continuing that plan on into the future. The tree farm system, not only do they work with the actual landowners and facilitate finding the cooperators and keeping their management plan up to date, but we try to have some opportunities for them to compete, as well as for some of the foresters involved in the field. We have what we refer to as the Tree Farmer of the Year, and we ask for nominations from across the state for actively involved tree farmers. We go out, we take a look at the properties that have been nominated, and from that we select a Tree Farmer of the Year. And from that, we also have Logger of the Year that we support. Every year we find that logger that is doing a very good job on the properties that they have been harvesting. And the other thing that is good about the Tree Farm of the Year is every once in a while what we will do is find that exceptional tree farmer that is above and beyond the call of duty. And what we do is we move them on from the state level up to the national level. And we're very happy this year that the Cliff Taylor Farm has been nominated and selected as the final 8. They are in the final 8 for this particular year, and we're hoping that they will come and become the National Tree Farmer of the Year. We have had one National Tree Farmer here in the state of Kentucky in the past years. The other thing that we do is we work with the University of Kentucky, where these students are being trained to become foresters. And so the tree farm system has actually gone into the classroom, and they have taught these to-be foresters the standards that are required for the tree farm system. And the standards are, you know, how do you harvest your timber? What do you do for water quality, wildlife aspects, and such things as that? There's a number of different standards. And they will go, the tree farm committee goes in, trains these students, and when they graduate, they are already certified. They will be certified upon graduation day to become a tree farm inspector. And they can go anywhere in the United States and work in the tree farm system. And so we figure these individuals have a leg up opportunity. The day they graduate, they don't have to go through another training. They are already trained in the tree farm system. The Kentucky Tree Farm System, again, these are people that are made up a very exclusive group of people that have worked very hard and diligently over the years to take their forests and have them heavily managed. Whether it's timber or wildlife, recreation, and water aspects. Now you may be, again, overwhelmed and think, well, there's no way that I can do this. It takes 100 years to grow the forest. Mine's already 35 years old. How am I going to do this? Well, last year's tree farmer was only in the tree farm system for only a few short years, but had done so much work and intensive work that they were recognized as good woodland stewards. And so you don't have to be in the program for long periods of time. You just have to be in it long enough to show that you have the interest, the desire, and the continuation of carrying out your forest management plan. To become involved with the tree farm system, all you need to do is contact a professional forester here in the state of Kentucky and tell them that you would be interested in becoming part of the tree farm system. They will come out, look at your forest properties, and they will design for you the work that needs to be done. And in a few years, and again, maybe a half a dozen or a dozen years from now, you could be the Tree Farmer of the Year here in the state of Kentucky. Some final comments about the tree farm program, whether it's the Kentucky Tree Farm program or the national program. The thing is, looking behind me, you see a stand of timber, and whenever you talk about the tree farm system, this is what you normally think about, and that is a stand of timber. But the thing is there's more to it than that. And that, again, is that there's the water aspect of it. We are the producers of good water. We are the ones that house the wildlife. And in many places, we provide recreation as well as the timber. But the other thing that I want to talk about in the tree farm program that's very important to them, and that is the concept of legacy. And looking behind me now, we see an open field here. And this is maybe where tree farms start. You know, you think of starting with an open field like this and starting and growing trees. But the legacy part of it is, and the reason I wanted to go to this field was when you start with your young people, and that is, we have found out that in the tree farm system, there are 2, 3, sometimes 4 generations of families living on one tree farm, living on that property, or they are very well associated with that piece of property. And so no matter what the situation you have, whether you have a field like this that could be incorporated into a forest management plan, or the timber that has been behind me during this whole video, remember the concept that tree farm is more than just the present. It is the future also, and that is, not only do we have these trees that we've been working with for a number of years, but we also want to think about the future. And this could be the future, and that is, we could convert this into a forested stand. But the big thing is legacy in the tree farm program. We want our families all to become part of that management plan. Not only being able to utilize the properties, but also to be thinking about incorporating them into the future management. We want to thank you very much for being part of the tree farm system. We congratulate all those people that are out there in the state of Kentucky that are tree farmers, and we hope that you too can become part of this family here in the state of Kentucky as well as across the United States.